stocks market, futures market, option market, bursa, Malaysia stocks market, cryptocurrency, NFT, Forex market, which is the one that is most suitable for beginner to generate cash flow. Now, when we come to trading and investing, right, there's definitely a lot of option for you to go in and study and learn to do about trading and investing to generate you the cash flow. But then when we given so many options, right, and we go to ask any gurus or any articles online, they're probably going to say that the best market to start to trade is going to be the market that best with, because they make money there. That's why they said that is the best. However, every single one have a different starting point, and your starting point may be totally different compared to others. Like someone can be right now just getting employed and right now have a low income and want to think of trading as a second source of income to give more cash flow. Or you could be someone that is unemployed and want to generate a mainstream of income using tradings. Or you could be halfway employed and having additional funds that you want to put in and you don't want to touch and go for fully investment. Put in and wait for 1 year to get the money out. So every single one is not going to have the same trading goals, and it's not going to have the same market to go into. This totally depends on what you want to achieve. So in this video, I'm going to guide you through some of the analysis on the markets that are available for you in the financial markets, so that you can pick the right markets that's most suitable for your current situation. And I'm going to analyze the markets based on 3 main criteria, which is basically your time, your money, and your capability needed for each and every single markets that I know. Now, first of all, I just want to mention that this is not a financial advice. Everything here is just my idea and suggestion. You should do your own due diligence to decide whenever this is the right path to go into. By the end of the video, I'm going to guide you through some of my personal planning on my financial freedoms, but that is just my ideas and may not suitable for you. You can just listen and you have to do your own due diligence as well. All right, so what you're seeing here is that on my analysis. So we're going to start with the first one of the most popular options available in Malaysia, which is stock markets that we trade on either KLSC or Bursa. Right, so here I just take one KLSC as a benchmark. Okay, so when you're doing stock trading in Malaysia, of course you cannot run away. You have to study the fundamental behind the companies. So that's what we call as fundamental analysis. You have to read through their quarterly reports, how well the company is doing, are they making monies, and is there any potential to make more money in the future? Or you are not going into fundamental analysis, then probably that you can go into technical analysis. So basically technical analysis is the one that look into the charts and see the price up and down, and you are the one that doing day tradings. So fundamental analysis could be taking like 2 to 3 days in a week time, depends on how fast that you can actually read through and how understand yourself in the markets. But this is actually, I put it as a benchmark of a successful stock trader in Malaysia, right? That is what I got from my friend as well. But then if you are technical analysis and you're doing sort of day tradings to get daily cash flow, and then you probably will need 3 to 4 hours of time in a day, right, which is on the morning time, then you do the tradings. And this can be various people to people. Some people need to sit in front of a computer for 8 hours just to find the right market opportunity. Some people know a bit technicals and they can just, put the pending orders, or they can just pick up a call. They got a reminder to do the trade for them. So they just need to look at the computer. Roughly in total, average is like 3 to 4 hours per day. Okay. And that is the amount of time that you have to put in if you want to do stock trading in Malaysia. But then in terms of the money that you have to invest in order to be profitable, okay, the keyword here is to be profitable, not to say test water, all right? Means that you already can get enough of the RI in terms of dollar amount to sustain your cash flow goals. So there are 3 main stocks that actually been categorized here, which is the stock type of number 1, penny stock, stock price around 0.05 cent all the way to 5 ringgit, all right, around that range. Then probably that you will need to prepare this amount of ringgit in order to invest and get some decent amount of returns. Okay, and if you're going for any normal stock, right, anywhere between 5 ringgit to 10 ringgit, or the stock itself is actually a blue chip stock, right? Then roughly that you had to prepare 5,000 to 30,000 ringgit roughly here, or even higher than that to be profitable in blue chip Malaysia stock. How about rising stock? Those stock price that is like more than 10 ringgit one. Those is quite expensive. So it's quite hard to determine the right price of it. But then we can actually give a rough estimate that usually my friend will actually invest like 5,000 ringgit and above. Depends on the company background, they're going to invest about this amount, but 5,000 is the minimum if you are going for like those expensive stock a bit. And we also concerned about the ROI they can make, right? We have been invested this amount. How about the ROI? So the ROI here is what I have been calculated. Okay, so the daily ROI and the risk is 0.71. Now, how do I get this number? Is actually I'm going to the website called TradingView, and in this TradingView website, I'm searching for KLSE. Why? I just basically taking as a benchmark of how averagely Malaysia stock price move. Okay, average on it. So this can be very stock to stock, but then it's just a guidance for you to know how to actually analyze this. So you can see that what you can see here is that I'm actually measuring the average price changes in terms of percentage on how the market is moving. In other words, how volatile is the current market? Okay, so for example, I can see that like today, the market has been grow for this amount, and which is equivalent to how many percent? 0.4 something percent. Okay, so I'm going to take the average from 20 all the way that I can see, right? Okay, 2011 all the way to right now. The average volatility of Malaysia stocks is roughly around 0.7. All right, just you can see the average line is about there. Okay, 0.7 something. So that is what I have been concluded, 0.7 something average volatility in the Malaysia stock, which is not bad. In a day, either you've been profit 0.7% or you'll be losing 0.7%. And in Malaysia, there is something that you can call as margin trading account, meaning instead of you buy full stock itself, you can actually take the margin from the brokers or from the banks, like which is usually 2.5 times more, and you can leverage, increase your profit, increase your risk to this amount. So this is going to be increased together. If you have the skill to make profit of this amount, 0.71, it can be also mean that when you have no skill, you are going to lose this amount in a day. Okay, which is quite low risk. Okay, and you increase the margin, right? You play with margin, you increase the risk. So basically you take this number, all right, 0.71 times 2.5, and you're going to get 1.775%, meaning that in a day, at average, you're going to earn 1.7% or lose 1.7%. So for example, if you have been invested into a blue chip stock, all right, and it's so nice that the market moved in your favors. Let's say you invested $10,000, 10,000 ringgit. And in that 10,000 ringgit, right, in a day itself, you use a margin account, you can get 1.775%. Okay, so in a day itself is roughly around 177 ringgit. Okay, so that is a so-called average performance in Malaysia stock. Okay, and in terms of capability, is it very hard to learn or very hard to be making this profit or not? For my friend, he advised that if you go to blue chip, is more easier to go to. Like for example, Maybank, Public Bank, those are the top Malaysia stocks. Okay, and then if you go for penny stock, like those stock that is quite small, is a bit hard. Okay, my friend said it's medium range. Not all people can accept this, but yes, when you go to penny stock, you just have smaller capital, but then you have to learn a bit more skill in order to be profitable. So you require a higher capability. The next one is so-called futures markets, which is FCPO, one of the most popular futures market that have been traded in Malaysia, the palm oil itself, right? The palm oil contracts. So for my friend, they actually suggest that usually like palm oil, when you do tradings, right, there's very, very less things that you can talk about fundamental analysis because it is so volatile right now. Most of the time, they are just doing technical analysis to do the tradings. So usually it's about 4 to 5 hours per day. Once get enough profit, exit. the end of the day. But then in a day itself, it could be no opportunity as well. So they have to sit in front of the computer for the 8 hours just to wait enough time for the market to, react, come up with some signals to enter the trades. So that is very, but then in a day, 4 to 8 hours, that is probably the range to do technical analysis. And if you're going for pure futures as a totally beginners, my friend will suggest to actually go for 5,000 to 10,000 range as starting capitals. But then if you know how to leverage it, or you can actually increase your so-called, same like margin account, but then you leverage it, all right? You reduce the initial capital required, but then at the same time, you are borrowing money, sort of like borrowing money from the broker to do the tradings. Initially, you need 10,000 to buy one futures contract. For example, one contract costs you 10,000, but now the broker give you leverage. You just need 1/10 of the price to buy the same amount, but then increase your ROI and increase your risk as well. So meaning that when you leverage it, you just need 1,000 to like 10,000 to kickstart. But then on average itself, if you calculate it, the daily ROI and the risk itself is 2.08%, which if you go to this market, this trading view itself, I go and type FCPO. Okay, so this is a futures market contract. And the one that I'm looking into is this one, all right? Okay, so this is the contract size itself. As we can see that previously, right, the volatility is about the same. It's about still quite high, right? 1.7%, 1.8%. Okay, and just recently it has increased the volatility to about here. So I just take the average of it, which is around 2.08. But then if we zoom in, zoom in for the past 1 year, right, it is about 2.9%, okay, to 2.7%, which is also pretty high volatility in the futures market. And the high volatility one day, you trade a pure stock, 10,000, okay, is going to give you like 200 ringgit of profit or losses. If you leverage it 10 times, which my friend had said is possible, that will probably give you 20% ROI in a day or 20% losses in a day. So this requires a higher skill compared to stock markets, which I put it as medium to hard in order to usually be profitable in this industry. And at the same time, because of higher capital requires, there is no so-called that test water. Okay, so it's a bit hard to go in. The next one is just stock market as well, but then this one we focus on US stock markets, S&P 500, for example. And if you're going for index fund trading, right, which is one of the easiest market that you can be profitable, what we have been considered is that if you just go for dollar cost averaging, all right, 1 to 2 days per month, meaning in an entire month, you just need to dedicate 1 to 2 days to see where is the price right now. If the price crash a lot, then probably it is a good time to enter the markets by using this dollar cost averaging methods. Okay, you buy with a certain distance, every single price that go lower and lower, you buy in. This one is relatively easy to be handled because it's quite been established for a long history already. And in terms of the capital that require, you will probably require, for example, if you go to ETF, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500, you probably will require to have 20,000 in order to sustain your capitals, especially if you go for margin account. But then this amount cannot be run too far away, right? Must be, usually is about this is the minimum. But if you go for individual stock, probably 6,000, or some of my friends said that 2,000 is already can be started. Okay, but the good point here is that because US stock market has been well established for so many years, and with the worldwide has just recognized that USD, the United States itself is probably the top 1 country in the world. So there are investors that are ready to invest into their country as well. But then the problem is that, there are certain investors, they are very rich, but they are just don't want to do the tradings, and they are okay to invest money into good traders like probably you and me, and they give you the money, you trade for them. Okay, so there are potential investors here that we can actually search and get their funds and trade for them with their term and condition, of course. But then I can say that this is possible in this particular market only. Okay, and the ROI and the risk itself is 0.92% in S&P 500. You go to margin account, which is 2.5 times more, then it's probably around 2.3%. And you leverage 10 times more is 9.2% ROI in a day. Meaning if you invest 10,000 in a day, you're probably already earning back like $900, sorry, 900 ringgits. Okay, and this will require less time as well. So it's pretty easy to achieve. And this is the one that if you're just very busy person, probably this is more suitable for you because 1 to 2 days per month. And this can be actually shortened, all right, 1 to 2 days per week. All right, as long as there is a good opportunity of the stock market. And basically, you just need to focus on few of the big cap in the market, which is on a blue chip stock. All right, that is what my friend suggested as the easy start to get profit out of this US stock market. And talk about US stock market, then definitely people will talk about options markets, which is option US stocks markets. Okay, and on options, people focus on index to doing dollar cost averaging, which usually will cost same 1 to 2 days per week time or even per month time. The reason I put per week time is that the option market has a better opportunity to in and out. So probably you can find opportunity in a week time, or even you can do analysis on a weekly basis and doing trading based on option strategy. Okay. Or if you're not going for index, you go for individual stocks in the Nasdaq, in the S&P 500, like Tesla, you probably will require to do technical analysis, which some of you will be doing day tradings, which usually will take like 4 to 5 hours per day, nighttime to do the trading. Why? Because US open at the night time of Malaysia time. Okay, usually it's after 9:30 p.m. And when we knowing this, right, the price of an individual stock, if you go for option market, is around 2,000 ringgits. Okay, and the benchmark that I put here is that you buy a quality stock. Okay, it's not a some stock that you, I mean, I don't know the name and it's very, very cheap, but then the quality is a question mark. All right, what we focus here is that the stocks market that have a higher chances to make you profitable. Okay, and if you go for trading / investing, then the fund that required is around 5,000 to 50,000. Same, you go for option markets, you do dollar cost averaging, and it's just a way that can probably get the profit faster. It is sort of like having a leverage return over here. Okay, what being promoted a lot is this leverage profit, which is this 10% ROI per day. Okay, which is basically just the leverage. And you have to know leverage is in the sense that it is actually both sides, profit and losses. So if in a day you can earn 9.2%, in the same day you can lose 9.2% as well. And you have to be aware your starting capital is this amount. So my friend concludes that it's easy if you go for US stocks, or I mean US index only, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500. But it becomes very, very hard if you go for individual stock to be profitable. Especially you have to deal with the platform itself. There is probably more, I mean, a new platform for you to learn. All right. For my personal opinion, I found that option markets platform is slightly hard to actually catch up. But then as you are an experienced trader, it's quite easy lah. Right, just to let you know as a beginner point of view that if you are a beginner, the platform you may feel a bit hard to actually catch up at the first place. Okay, the next one is actually cryptocurrency, NFT. Now, I put it together, which is one of under the category of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. Yes, this can be trades as well. And there are two main markets. Number one is the spot markets, meaning that you are trading the real crypto coin. If it's Bitcoin, it's just real Bitcoin in your wallet. If it's Ethereum, it's going to be Ethereum in your wallet. So usually what people will do is they're doing fundamental analysis. And recently I learned one thing is so-called market hype analysis. So what this is doing is just basically in a day, 4 to 5 hours in a day, basic, right? You're going to read through the news, check the news time to time, see if there's any hype there's potentially come up in the next few hours or in the next few days. If there's hype, then you can go in and do the trading itself. All right. And the futures market is just basically the same thing. All right. Instead of you trading one Bitcoin, you are leverage it. You multiply the profit and losses by, I don't know, 10 times more. All right. And it can up all the way to 50 times to be more profitable. Okay. And this will require more time to be in front of a computer because basically you are putting higher risk in the trading. And that's why in a day itself, you probably will require 12 hours to sit in front of a computer to either do the trading or wait for the opportunity. But this may be varies from people to people, because some people just do it on night time. Some people do it for full-time traders. So if you're a full-time trader, this is probably the time that you can allocate into cryptocurrency to be profitable. As a beginner, how much is the ringgit amount to buy a coin? Well, basically it's very, very low, all right, which is just like 250 ringgit to buy any coin in the market, all right? And that is already a very good starting point. But then if you are considering to be profitable, then you can go to 1,000 to 5,000 ringgit, and the ROI will make more sense. And if you go for investing the coin, meaning that you buy the coin for a bit long term, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months time, put in your wallet, and until, like, for example, crypto back to $65,000, then you only sell it off. Then that could be investing options. But then when you go for investing, when the price goes lower, you really have to prepare the fund to buy lower. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense in your returns. All right. Although the return on Bitcoin itself in a daily basis, up and down, is about 5.75%. And Ethereum up and down in a single day itself is 6.58%. Yes, Ethereum is having a higher volatility compared to Bitcoin, but you have to know this amount, all right, considering you are losing 100%, okay, as a benchmark, these are, like, I will take like 6%, 100 divided by 6. You probably will need 16 days in order to lose every single dollar amount of money. Okay, if you are so unlucky, you put in 5,000 for investing, and at the time you put in, the market keep coming down, crash, and you just need 16 days to lose every single thing. And that is probably the highest risk that in the all market option that we have been talking about. And that is provided that you have no leverage, meaning that you are buying the real coin that's stored inside your wallet and you did not do anything. 16 days later, you're probably going to lose everything. Or on the bright side, 16 days later, you're going to earn 100%, double up your money. Okay, so that is what being achievable in the stock, in the cryptocurrency market. And for people that go for futures markets, they can even multiply this multiply this 5% ROI to like 50 times more, which is crazy. But then, yes, this is what possible to be done in the cryptocurrency. And personally, I rank it as a hard market to go into. Why? Number one is the volatility is overly high. If you haven't been trading before, you probably will think that, wow, this is normal, but this is actually very abnormal. And because the market is not centralized, there is no big player is going to back behind you to do the trading. Basically, the market is right now quite heavily depends on the market height to actually either push a coin to one side or the other side. And yep, just my personal opinion that for any beginner who want to get in, it's hard, especially when you go into the platform itself. There is like you have to open the wallets. That could be a bit hard for a beginner to learn out every single details of the cryptocurrency, because it's not something like you open an account, you put in the money and you start trading. You have to really understand the cryptocurrency community first in order to be profitable. It's more to understand the technology behind first in order to be profitable in this technology. In this crypto lah. All right. So that is my opinion on it. But talk no more, we go to the next one, which is on CFD market. Now, when we talk about CFD market, right, they are actually just one of the financial products that are available in the market, which is also part of this option market. Okay, CFD is sort of like a leverage products to be traded. Okay, one of the most common example will be gold and Forex. Okay, now what is CFD basically doing in a sense that if you haven't heard of it before? So futures market and option market, okay, they are actually a contract that have the expired date. Okay, meaning that if, for example, I put an expired of 1 year, all right, and you're going to buy this contract, and within 1 year time, you can buy in and out, all right, and you are profiting from the profit difference. You buy low when the price is $1, and you sell it high when the price goes to, for example, $2, and you earn $1 profit in between before it expired. And what if the contract expired? Then you have to exercise the contract. Because options future, right, you can actually buy a contract with discounted, so-called discounted rate. Like you don't really need to pay 1 ringgit to hold this contract. You can just pay for like 10 cents to get this contract. And that's why you just require a lesser amount of capital in order to start trading compared to a real stock market. Okay, so this concept come up, then there's people saying that why we put this 1 year contract here. I mean, basically people just want to make money in and out. And the concept of CFD here is that instead of you having this 1 year, they just remove this. And how they actually make money is they're going to make a contract with you. So under this contract, you as a trader, and you're going to say, all right, so right now, I think that the gold market is going to go up. Okay, but you did not say that is when it's going to go up. You have the right to choose right now go up, 10 minutes later or 20 minutes later. And the broker house is going to get you the contract. Okay, so that is so-called you buy the gold market. And if you want to close the trade, all right, meaning that you want to close the contract, okay, you tell the broker, hey, now we terminate the conditions and we're going to see right now the gold market is going up or going down. Okay, if you buy gold at, for example, you buy at 1,000 ringgit and $1,000, and right now literally go to 1,005, then the broker is going to pay you $500 of profit. Based on this contract, the broker will pay you. But what if the price dropped to $500? Then you have to pay back to the broker another $500 of losses. So that is the contract itself. Basically, it just when the price goes up, you earn off. When the price goes down, you lose off. So it's just same concept, but then is with no expiry date one. Okay, and for people that are going to be profitable in terms of getting cash flow, they are the one that doing trading on daily basis, 4 to 5 hours per day. Of course, people are using this for doing investing as well, but then doing investing is not as profitable as compared to you investing in the real stock market. So that's why I did not include over here. Okay, and if you are just a beginner, you literally can be starting trading at as low as just 50 ringgit to 500 ringgit. But then if you want to be profitable, you have to go to 2,000 ringgit to buy 10,000 ringgit. All right, and there's no up limit, but then this is usually the average fund that normal Malaysian can be putting in as a starting on the CFD tradings. And for beginners, right, don't expect to make any money, right? This is just your learning. All right, you put in some small money as a learning to understand how does CFD works. Okay, and this market is also quite special. That's why, because they have the investor ready to fund in as well. Because basically gold, Forex is not going to collapse in a day, and it's backed by the country as well. Country buy gold to protect their currency, and the currency is protected by gold. And you know, this relationship makes investors more love to invest money into here. But same thing, they are so busy, so they open up a company, hire you as the trader to trade for them, and they give you the money from their company, and it's a legit business. And in a sense that if you first time heard of this, right, probably you can go and online and search for this company. All right, so this is one of the most popular company in the worldwide to actually provide fund for the traders. Okay, so this platform itself is so-called FTMO, and they provide variety of options in the market, but then they are focused in the CFD only, which you can also trade US stock, gold markets, Forex markets, silver, etc. All right, so this is a platform itself, which is you can see that you can trade our company capitals, and you're going to receive up to 90% of the profit splits. If you trade for them, you'll be profit. You know, they're going to, you get a 90% of profit, they just get a 10% to cover their losses as well. Okay, so that is a business structure which is very interesting. And in terms of volatility itself, right, gold is about 1.21%. Euro USD is basically 0.61% as the one of the main Forex example. All right, so that is the average of it. And the good thing is here is that you can leverage up to 500 times. And that is why as a beginner, you probably can see that, oh, some of them actually been profit so huge. They just invest $400 and 400 ringgit and then still manage to get like, you know, 400 ringgit in another day. Why? They basically increase their risk by 500 times, meaning they artificially increase the volatility by 500 times. You know, that is so-called over-risking. But then considering risk measure in place, if you know how to do it, you definitely can do it. All right. And it's actually easy to hard because CFD can trade a lot of other markets. including S&P 500, which I categorize as easy. And you can apply the same strategy from here. And medium is because it can do trading for gold markets, which require a little bit of skill there, especially risk management. And hard for Forex, because basically you have to understand the fundamental behind currency itself. So I will categorize Forex trading is a little bit hard to be captured, especially if you are totally new in trading. And I just want to say that all the content here, right, is just my personal idea from my friend, from my discussion, and all the way Google that I found. Okay, if there's anything that goes wrong, right, do comment below this video and let me know what is your opinion on it. All right, I'm open for any discussion. All right, but then please make sure that your opinions respect each other as well. All right, I don't want to be saying other people wrong, right or wrong, but I'm just here to distribute out the informations and you decide yourself which one that you think suitable for you. Now, probably over here, right? Wow, Ethan, you have been listed out a lot of things. I like what you have been listed out. So now, probably your eyes are only focus on one thing on it. You probably focus on this thing. You only look into the money because you say that I'm a fast learner. I can do it one. I just know money on it. That's why I come to do tradings. And you focus on which one that can give you the lowest capital and which one that can give you the highest returns. All right. But then from here, what you can see is that the ROI is literally something that's not so important, because what you can see, even though the stock market has low volatility in a day, meaning stocks market generally does not move much like in a day, but then when you leverage it, it is having some sort of profit. And the reason why people go for option trading is because the unusual stocks move about 1% per day, but in the option market you can leverage it to become 10 times more. So you can get 10 times more profits, which is like 10% more profits, like 10% ROI in a day. But you have to be careful. This also can mean that you can lose 10% in a day. Can you accept it? Right? Is that the goal that you want to go in? Profit 10% and lose 10% in a day. All right, both sides. Cryptocurrency, 5% directly, not even need to be leveraged. You go to leverage, one day 100% no problem, but one day lose everything can be a possible in the crypto, and it's very, very common thing. All right, so which one that you want to go? Okay, now here I just lay out the information and I'm going to show you my trading plan itself, what I have been picked, and from my personal background, why I think that this is the best fit for myself. So you can learn from me as a case study. All right, so personally, I'm actually just graduated, and previously I was already starting this plan for a very, very long time, and I know I want to be financial freedoms, and that's why I've been studying this and looking through. I'm looking for one thing. Okay, which market is the one that can easiest to get started? All right, so actually the easiest to get started for me, I think, is actually this US stocks market, because this is actually one of the easiest market that have been learned to do tradings and be profitable. But then it's just the problem of this starting capitals. So if you are lack of starting capitals, then my best advice is that you go to do saving first, or the best way is that you do additional business. For example, like drive a Grab car or Grab food to actually get higher returns. Morning, you work in the office to get your fixed salary. In the nighttime, you have more time, you go for a Grab car to earn secondary source of income. That is more stable and potentially higher amount, even you invest into this trading. Okay, after you get a certain amount of trading already, then only you start to consider which of the option that you go into. Personally, I work as a part-time and my starting point is actually in the CFD. But as a starting, if you've already been easy, then potentially US stock is a good point. Okay, more coming back to the topics here. And the market that I go in is actually CFD market as the first place. And the reason is because the platform is slightly more easier to use compared to the stocks market platform. Okay, but then right now, I do know that some of the stock trading platform is quite easy to be used. It's just that right now, I mean, this is already something fixed back in 5 years ago. So that's why 5 years ago, there's not much platform yet. Okay, and that's why I start in CFD. And CFD, there's a good point here is that you can do demo trading, meaning that you can start to learn without use any capitals. While you're working, while you're doing any additional part-time, you can continue to learn as well. So you can continue to progress. And at the same time, I'm looking into the investor fund, because the condition to get investor fund is actually easier compared to the stock markets. Okay, and Meaning if you get investor fund, you does not require to have high capitals to invest, which is like 10,000 ringgit to invest, to start trading, and to be profitable. Basically, you can use investor money to be profitable and get your first bucket of gold. After that, you go to, I go to stock markets and I trading stock and futures market in the US, which is already, I know, more stable and proven historically that US is going to help the stock market in the world. Look at what has happened in the 2020 COVID-19 periods. What is the price right now? It has been crashed so much in the past, about 20% I remember, but now has been growing like 100% from the last time. So basically, US, they are going to save their country as well. So that has been proven compared to Malaysia stock. That is already like, fixed thing that everyone knows about these facts. But then the requirements to get to stock trading in the US stock, right, is actually more capital required. So basically, you have to prepare more funds. And the fund, where did I get from? It's get from here. I've been profit from here, then I only shift to here. Okay. Then I at the same time can have a higher margin. Have more skill to get the funding from the investor to trade on stock market. Basically, this is my second source of income to get my second source of bucket of gold. Okay. And because the return here is actually quite high, after that, I have accumulated a certain amount of money, which is I'm still doing. And until a certain amount, I'm going to invest into stocks market in Malaysia. Why? I want to earn, number one, the dividends of Malaysia blue chip stock. Number two, it's more easier to cash in and cash out because I understand Malaysia ringgit the most. And at the same time, I understand Malaysia government the most. If I want to withdraw the money from the stock market on the Bursa itself, it's quite easy to convert back to Malaysia ringgit. Just ringgit transactions. If you go for US stock itself, the good point here is that US stock can get more profits, but then it's very expensive to do international transaction. So that's why when I have my second bucket of gold, I'm going to invest into here and turn my trading to investing. Especially if you have bigger capital right now, then only you should consider for investing. For small capital, I think that potentially trading is more suitable for you, which you just put in more time to do the trading in and out, and you get a profit, getting a bank account more and more money already. Then you put into investing, put into the stock, earn a dividend, and you don't need to do any trading anymore. Okay, and when you want to grow bigger, then I go to option market, which is S&P 500, and I invest into S&P 500, which is the best stock in the US for the first 500 best stock. And at the same time, I get that dividend as well, which is to dilute the risk from the Malaysia stocks itself. And at the same time, I also turn my trading to investing. So basically, what I'm building here is that initially, I'm building out my capitals. All right. This is my capitals. So I have zero capitals. So I have to build it. Okay. We can grow to like 10K. And then we only go to here, we talk about cash flow. Okay. When you have cash flow over here, then it's easier to be profitable. Why? Like, for example, even the stock market here give you 1% return. Okay, you got 100K. 1% return itself is going to give you how much? 1,000. Is it 100,000? And time 1%. Yeah, correct. $1,000. Seriously, this is cash flow. But then if you have no capital or your capital is small, you try to get cash flow from any single of these two markets, right? What I've been calculating is that you are not going to get some decent money. At most, it's just $100. And $100 not so entertaining compared to this. So what I'm building here is that I'm getting my capitals to be huge enough. And again, going to get the market will do the work for me, right? Just 1%. And this is sufficient to be profit enough for my living expenses already. Okay, so it's not about the percentage itself, all right? You have to be careful here. It's not about the percentage. It's about the capital itself, all right? How you plan out your capital. It's also not about how the market's volatility that requires. I know people go for cryptocurrency for high volatility, okay? But then it's not stable. So that's why I go for a bit more stable markets. At least I can calculate out what is my potential return in the future. So you may be asking me, hey, isn't crypto is the best, but why you put it at the last? Well, if you look into here, is that crypto right now is a developing technology in the IT point of view. And from my point of view, that I love this technology a lot. but I just think that it's not consistent and not stable right now as investing tools, but it is definitely a good tools if you want to build a business around this technology. All right. And I'm actually a very person that loves technology a lot. And I'm going to start an IT companies in Malaysia and potentially invest my money that I got from this trading to build a R&D for cryptocurrency and going to build a better future either for the society or for Malaysia. All right. And that is my, plan in the future, that why I plan out my journey, slowly build out my capitals, then I get my cash flow, then I can do my business in the cryptocurrency NFT world. And I don't need to worry about money to do my business because I have so confident that the money is going to build from here. Even no money, I also can farm in money from here. So it's a step-by-step process. And coming back to the first question in this video, is what is the best market to be traded? Now, the answer is that there is no such thing as the best market to be traded right now. The question that you should ask is which market should go first? Based on your starting point, which market that you should go first? All right. And yeah, that's basically is the everything that I want to mention in this video. And if you actually want to start trading and you want to follow my plans, you want to start with CFD, get your first bucket of gold, right? I'm actually hosting a trading education which is called Alpha Masterclass. And as we know, you want to start trading, you want to get a second source of income, but you are very busy with your current main source of income. You are busy with your work, with your projects, and with your sales. So you cannot take additional more time, 4 to 5 hours a day to do the chart, look at the chart analysis, everything. Yes, I do understand that. And some of you may put the time in, but then the time is so little, 1 to 2 hours per day, it's not enough to build out the experience. And when you have no experience, you'll be fear, you'll be emotional in doing trading. And there's a lot of weird things that can come out when you have emotional in your trading. And basically you are not doing any risk management. That is why this Alpha Master course I designed to teach you how to use robots to do the trading, automatically buy in and out for you, and at the same time guide you the right risk management methods to host the trading robot itself. So if you're interested in using the trading robots to be profitable in the CFD market, the link is under this video so that you can check it out and can attend our upcoming videos for the robot trading. Again, you can comment down below this video and let me know what is the ideas that you had been planned out, which market plan that you want to go first and next and the second, third, and etc. for your financial freedom. All right, comment down below and let me know. And if you like this video, click like button, share to your friends, and let him know how to actually really plan out the trading journey itself. It's not which market the best, is which market should start first. All right, so if you want to learn about robot trading, it's under this link. And that's all for this video. So I'm going to see you in my upcoming sessions and stay tuned. Bye-bye.